In an ideal world, men wouldn't be passing laws about women's bodies, but unfortunately for us, we live in a country where there's a really troubling trend of our lawmakers passing laws restricting abortion rights. So here we are again in the dark room, sitting in the chair, and hopefully we're going to explain for the last time what happens when a country decides to make abortion illegal. And rather than me sit here and explain it, I want to bring in someone who I know is really passionate about this subject. So Dee, I feel like you should do this one.
Let's go for it. So I love having a woman around me. Thank you. Because you guys never do it. So basically, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed the legislation banning abortion at 6 weeks and has named it the Heartbeat Bill. The bill is set to take effect in January 2020 and would prohibit any abortion that takes place after fetal cardiac activity can be detected. A heartbeat is usually discovered about 6 weeks into a pregnancy. But the problem with this is that most people don't realize that they're pregnant that early. As AOC stated on her Twitter account, 6 weeks is only 2 weeks late on your period. So the bill has been framed by opponents as a forced pregnancy bill. Georgia was one of the 4 states to pass 6-week bans this year. But not to be outdone, 25 crusty old white men in Alabama were like, hold up, I got something better, and passed a law that would not only make abortions illegal at any stage of pregnancy, but would ban them even in instances of incest and rape. And if this doesn't already sound like some Handmaid's Tale shit, any doctor who performs an abortion could face up to 99 years in prison. And now, lawmakers around the country in states like Louisiana, Missouri, Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, Texas, West Virginia, Florida, and Ohio are attempting to follow suit. While this legislation is still at the state level, there is potential for it to reach the Supreme Court, with the ultimate possibility of overturning Roe v. Wade. In order to stop the abortion bans in these various states from going into effect, Planned Parenthood, the ACLU, and other women's rights organizations are taking these strict laws to court. The fear is that since Trump appointed 2 conservative judges to lifetime seats on the Supreme Court, these lawsuits will be reconsidered there, and Roe v. Wade could be overturned if the court sides with the states and their abortion bans. The South and Ohio are definitely wilding out. This is an extremely bad idea, as evidenced by all the countries that have outlawed abortions or have strict requirements for when people can get them, where we see the same thing time and time again. These laws put lives in danger. This is an attack on the lives of women and anyone else who can get pregnant. There are already several countries with near total bans on abortion that, like the recently passed Alabama legislation, make no exceptions for victims of rape nor incest. And if a woman is in Brunei, Guatemala, Libya, or Syria, they can only receive an abortion if the pregnancy is putting their life at risk. The same goes for Qatar and Niger, where a pregnancy can only be terminated if there is a clear risk to the mother's life or if there is an impairment to the fetus. Ireland reversed a long-standing abortion ban in 2018, but Northern Ireland, the part that remains within the UK, still has the most restrictive abortion laws of any developed nation, only allowing for termination if doctors believe the mother's health is at risk. So basically, you gotta be dying to get an abortion. Other countries like El Salvador, Nicaragua, and the Dominican Republic, just like those old-ass Irish laws, don't allow abortions under any circumstances. And the people who seek them out can face prison time in some cases up to 50 years. And several studies have shown that whether it's in Northern Ireland, Guatemala, or the Dominican Republic, people in countries where abortion is illegal still have abortions. They're just doing it in more dangerous and suspect ways. A study published by the Guttmacher Institute stated the abortion rate is 37 per 1,000 women in countries where abortion is entirely prohibited or only permitted to save the mother's life, and 34 per 1,000 women in countries where abortion is legal. So basically, there's no significant difference. Also, between 2010 and 2014, 25 million unsafe or clandestine abortions were carried out every year, which is roughly 45% of all of the abortions performed worldwide. That's nearly half. Do you know how dangerous that is? It's estimated that nearly 23,000 of the people who had these unsafe abortions died either during the procedure or due to complications afterward. Amnesty International has reported that doctors in countries with harsh penalties for providing abortions have either been afraid to, or in some cases, flat out refused to provide medical care to their pregnant patients. This is out of fear that they might inadvertently jeopardize the pregnancy or harm the fetus. Listen, the bottom line is this. Making abortion illegal puts pregnant people and medical professionals at risk. These abortion bans aren't gonna stop people from having abortions. And to the politicians backing these bills, if you believe in protecting lives, then why not fight for universal health care or climate change? Why aren't you fighting police brutality or food scarcity? Or how about fighting to make sure that the people of Flint have clean water? Why are we not fighting to improve the lives of the 2.5 million children who were homeless last year? Basically, why are we fighting so hard to protect a fertilized egg if we aren't gonna give it a fighting chance in life? At the end of the day, men have no right making laws about women's bodies. If someone decides to get an abortion for whatever reason, it's none of your fucking business.